Hello friends, this is Sandeep Chhabda. In this video, we will be discussing about defects, its investigation, diagnosis and prevention. First, to define a defect. It's a non-conformity observed in a unit against specification or any deviation from the specification is called defect. Now what comes? The types of defects. Defect may be of two types. One chronic, another sporadic. The sporadic defect is a defect due to some new factors entered in the process. These are not reoccurring defects. These defects are investigated on priority basis. First, these defects are to be taken care of. The defects which have been occurring in a certain percentage every time in the product is called chronic. But due to unknown causes, these defects are not easy to rectify. What points to be kept in the mind? First, every single defect must be investigated. But it is not economical as well as practicable to rectify all types of defects. It's not possible to have 100% acceptance or 100% defect free process. So it is advisable to concentrate on vital few rather than trivial many. It means the cause behind the major defect to be rectified first and the cause behind minor defect to be rectified on later stage. Now comes investigation of defect, diagnosis of defect. The first step is management approval. It's a task of quality control manager to make an assessment report showing what time to be devoted to analyze the defect, what the resources are to be used, and what amount of cost is involved in investigation process. The complete report is submitted to management for the approval. After approval of the management, the responsibility of the each and every individual is defined. Actually, defect investigation is not the task of an individual, it's a team task. It involves design personals, material personals, manufacturing personals, quality personals, process control personals, and packing, many more. So, the responsibility of each and every member of the team must be clearly defined, and the proper direction and coordination must be carried by the coordinator. Next step comes conduct of study. The question arises how to go and where to start. Actually, there is a general approach to organize any type of study in terms of defect identification, investigation, and diagnosis. It may involve material, it may involve process, machinery, operator, supervisor, or many factor. Professor Kaori Ishikawa of Japan developed cause and effect diagram, which is also known as fishbone diagram, which helps in investigation of the process. This diagram indicates all the parameters involved in the process of manufacturing of component. So all the causes are pointed on that diagram, and the effect is the defect. The investigation must be focused on, these are 5 parameters. First one is design and specification. It is quite natural that there is a fault with the design or drawing supplied to the operator. There may be insufficient manufacturing particulars, or impracticable design, or obsolete design being used. So proper care taken of, and this point to be rectified by the design personnels. Second one comes machinery and equipment. The machine which is being used to manufacture the component, maybe the machine is not properly maintained, the tooling is not properly designated, or there is inadequate process capability. Now comes material, the role of material. The material is of poor quality, underrated material, because of concession provided by the supplier, or expired material in case of chemicals. Next comes out operating and supervisory staff, the person involved in the manufacturing and inspecting, supervision of manufacturing. The operator of the machine is not fully skilled. He or she does not know each and every in and out of the machine, or the operator is careless, or inadequate supervision of that operator. Whether the operator is unhealthy or tired, his or her mental as well as physical conditions are not sound, or there is a rush, undue rush to meet the targets. Yes, you have to produce this much number of component in this shift, so there is a over pressure. So this may hamper the quality of the component. And the last one is process control and inspection. Maybe there is inadequate process control, maybe the inspection equipments or testing equipments are not calibrated, or non availability of proper equipments, or lack of training of inspection staff. So they are not able to properly handle the testing equipments or measuring equipments. After knowing the cause behind the defect, the quality control inspector is ready to take the action. The cause behind the fault is itself the remedy. So once the cause is identified, the remedy can be taken to rectify the defect and to control the overall cost of the manufacturing. Thank you.